3, 2, 1, go.
Matchup number 2, Captain Rachel Schreiber's on the left, Sergeant Jacob Pfaff is on the right. Jacob Pfaff was a guy who competed in some sanctioned events back in 2019. Very fit individual, as is Captain Rachel Schreiber. The two of them were talking some friendly smack before this thing started. And remember, the standard now for the dumbbell switch is different than it was in 2017. There is no restriction on where you can switch hands, and that we saw that play out in the first matchup. Allows people to move much more quickly.
Yep. Just watching right off the back, if you watch Rachel on the left right here, if you see her and how she's moving, she was moving very similar to Justin on that last round. And then if you look at Jacob on the right, he's moving very similar in the sense to how Sam was. Just watch their snatches. You'll see what I'm talking about on this next round. And then right here, they both are jumping with a staggered stance in their burpee. I think that's going to be a common theme amongst everyone who's going to be doing the burpee box jump overs. It just makes it a little bit more efficient and gets you to control your heart rate a little bit better.
Yeah, those transitions certainly add up over a workout this long. 225 total repetitions as Captain Schreiber is done with her first 25 reps. Jacob Pfaff with a couple more burpee box jump overs to go. He'll move back to the dumbbell at 25 as well.
So if you look here on the left right here with Rachel, if you look, she's really using her legs. So she's not going to blow up her back, and she's smart when she's using her legs. And if you look over to the right real quick over at Jacob, you see how he's getting that rounded back? That's something that he might feel tomorrow. But she's moving really fast and efficient. She's saving herself, and if she wants to actually hinge a little bit to save her legs a little bit later on the later rounds, her back is going to be fresh enough to handle it.
Schreiber through 44 and counting. Sergeant Pfaff is through 36. At the 45 mark, Schreiber will move back to the box, and she's just hit that. Got a quick no rep from her judge, Zach Pine. Sergeant Pfaff is almost done with his second set of dumbbell snatches. It's a set of 20. When he hits 45, he will go back for 15 burpee box jump overs.
So one thing that I'm watching right now on Rachel's burpee box jumps right now, look at her descent on that burpee. She's actually resisting herself, and I think that's going to add up in the later rounds, and it's going to really fatigue her out and slow her down. What I found is when I do these burpee box jump overs, I want to get to the ground as fast as possible with the least amount of resistance. It's almost like she's doing a negative on her burpee box jump overs. And I want to see how that plays out when she gets to the round of 40 and 50s.
Couple reps to go for Captain Schreiber. 60 is the mark she needs to hit, and then she'll start her round of 30 dumbbell snatches. And right now she has about a 5-rep lead on Sergeant Pfaff.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Rachel's endurance right now. She's really pushing herself right now and pushing that pace. So it's pretty good. She has actually a little bit of a lead over Jacob. But Jacob, I know he's trying to push a little bit because I heard how they were talking earlier, and I know he ain't going to let her just pull away with that victory.
90 is the number that Captain Rachel Schreiber needs to hit. So 19 more to go before she will move back for her third of 5 sets of 15 burpee box jump overs.
Yeah, she's still moving smooth and fast. Rachel's still moving. She still has that same intensity from the start until now. So I'm curious to see how she does after this round.
All 4 of the athletes that we've seen so far have really done a good job of keeping with the pace and the technique that they started with. And that's really being exhibited by Captain Schreiber, who has 1 rep to go. And now she will go back for her third set of 15 burpee box jump overs. And we aren't even at the 4-minute mark. But as we saw with Medeiros and Quant, when you get back to the dumbbell for that round of 40, that's really when this thing gets gnarly.
Oh, man, that's when the workout begins. The workout begins when you get to the set of 40s, and it really wakes you up when you get to the set of 50s. I mean, the 50s, you just got to grip and rip. You cannot think about it. You just got to breathe through it. And once you breathe through it, before you know it, it's going to be finishing onto the burpees, and then it just comes down to just sheer willpower. You just got to motor yourself through these burpees.
Captain Schreiber has 6 more of the burpee box jump overs before she will begin her set of 40. So they've done 60 dumbbell snatches at this point. They still have 90 left. That's over the final 2 rounds, a round of 40 and then a round of 50 to close things out. And Sergeant Pfaff is through 94 of the 225 total repetitions here in 21.2, the repeat of the first workout of the 2017 Open, 17.1.
I still remember when I was doing this workout and on the burpee box jump overs, it was like I was going in a circle. So every time I'd get back to my dumbbell, I was like, oh wait, my equilibrium was off a little bit. Okay, let me gather myself. All right, let's turn and burn.
A 20-minute time cap on this workout, and it doesn't look like either one of these athletes are going to have to worry about that. As Jacob Pfaff now has 2 reps to go on his burpee box jump overs before he will start his set of 40 dumbbell snatches. Captain Schreiber is through 120 of the 225 total repetitions.
I don't know if you see right now on the Rachel on the left. If you look at her back now, she's starting around her back. She's using her legs, but if you start to look at her form and technique, it's starting to break down. If you look over to the right, Jacob, he's still using the same technique in which he started with from the beginning. So he's still hinging at the hips, has a slight round, but that's working for him, and he's moving efficiently.
One more look at 21.2, and it will look very familiar to those of you who were around in 2017. Ascending reps of the dumbbell snatches, 35 pounds for the women, 50 pounds for the men. Of course, this is the RX version. And then the burpee box jump overs stay the same, 15 every round in a 20-minute time cap. And we just saw Justin Medeiros put up a time that was 4 seconds shy of the fastest time that we saw in 2017, 10:01 for Medeiros. Captain Schreiber's done with her round of 40 dumbbell snatches, and now it's the 15 burpee box jump overs. 20 inches on the box for the women, 24 inches for the men.
I don't know if you can tell Rachel on the left. Look at her burpee box jump over. She's still moving pretty good, but they're just starting to slow down just a little bit. So I think her doing that little slow negative on the way down on that burpee is starting to add up. One thing that I'd recommend for anyone who goes and tackles these burpees, if you're used to doing these burpee box jump overs, try to resist doing that negative down to the ground. It'll save your arms and your chest so much for those later rounds.
Approaching the 7-minute mark, Captain Rachel Schreiber is through 154 of the 225 total repetitions and almost done with her 4th of 5 sets of those 50 burpee box jump overs. She will then move back to the dumbbell for her final set of 50 dumbbell snatches.
I mean, I'm pretty impressed with these guys. These guys are still moving at a fast pace, and they're just turning and burning. So I'm pretty curious to see how she tackles this set of 50 right here.
Sergeant Pfaff is now through 150, so he has 10 reps to go before he is done with his 4th set of burpee box jump overs. Captain Schreiber back to the dumbbell. Final time now, 50 reps here for her.
Yeah, she's still moving smooth and fast. She got some good movement on those dumbbell snatches. Jacob, on the other hand, he got to get through those burpees. I mean, he's motoring through them, but he just got to get through those burpees. As you can tell, he's starting to rest a little bit on that bottom, and that's going to allow Rachel to pull away just a little bit more.
Jacob hasn't really been able to gain any ground on Captain Schreiber since about the 2nd round of this workout. Captain Schreiber now through 180 of the 225 total repetitions at the 210 mark. That's when she will move over to the box for her final set of 15.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing when you watch the heat before to this heat and you watch 2 athletes move similar to the athletes in the previous heat. Same thing is starting to take place. The person who's using their legs on the dumbbell snatches are moving a little bit faster and more efficient, and the people who are just smooth and fast on the burpees are just taking that lead. And you see it right here. You just saw an example from the first workout to this workout, with Justin taking on that first one and beating Sam, and then Rachel right now taking on Jacob and has that lead. She's actually almost about to finish up her snatches onto the burpees.
9 more to go in this set of 50, and she has not broken these up whatsoever. Sergeant Pfaff has gone unbroken every time as well. He's just not as fast as Captain Schreiber.
Yeah, I think she's going to get in the 10-minute range right now, too. That's pretty impressive. That's really impressive because she's still moving, and she's going to probably be in that 10-minute mark.
Final set of 15 burpee box jump overs for Captain Schreiber. And this is an impressive performance from 2 very fit athletes.
Yes, I agree completely. I mean, she's just turning and burning on this. I think she's going to get under that 10-minute 30-second mark. So If she just maintains this pace, she's going to get a really good score that's going to put her up on that leaderboard.
And this is the difference between two really, 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 really good, really fit athletes and the elite. These two you're watching on your screen right now would probably be the fittest in most gyms around the world.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, the way Rachel's moving on this workout, she's going to get one of the top scorers, hopefully, in the world. I mean, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure exactly what if she did this in 2017, but I'd be impressed to see if she did what her score matched up towards.
So 3 reps to go for Captain Rachel Schreiber, and then she will be done, and she's going to get inside 11 minutes.
Right there at that 10:30 range.
Final rep, and Captain Schreiber is done. 10:37.
That's a pretty impressive time. All right, Jacob is taking on those burpees. He's going right now. He's going for it. He's unloading the tank. So I'm really curious to see if he can maintain this pace for every single rep to finish out strong.
Yeah, he only has 6 reps to go. For reference, Captain Schreiber's time would have been 1 second faster, would have beaten Cara Saunders' time in 2017.
That's impressive.
That's how fit this field is getting.
That's very impressive.
And Sergeant Pfaff is in at 11:18.
Man, both of them turned in some good scores, especially if you compare that to the previous years.
Great effort from Sergeant Pfaff and a fantastic effort from Captain Schreiber as the two of them go unbroken. But no one caught that man, Justin Medeiros, who's at 10:01. So this is where you see why the little things matter. Both these athletes went unbroken, but pacing and strategy can make a huge difference in your total time.
Big time. I mean, I'm just looking at Rachel and how she's moving through this. Her using those legs were huge. It actually propelled her to go a lot faster than Jacob on the right. However, on the back end, she was just smooth on her burpees, and she kept herself consistent on these burpees. So I'm pretty curious to see what her previous, if she did 21.1 and what her score was on 21.1 and where this is going to lead her on the leaderboard after completing 21.2.
Captain Schreiber gets the best of the matchup between the two athletes from the U.S. Army Warrior Fitness Team. And she was able to go unbroken on all of her dumbbell snatches. That was her final set. And then gutting through those final 15 burpee box jump overs. And she is the winner of this matchup. The first woman we've seen take on 21.2. 10:37 for her. Jacob Pfaff, Sergeant Jacob Pfaff with 11:18, and the two of them are with Rory McKernan.